Bonjour everyone, it's your girl Dina. Welcome and welcome back to my channel.
Elle veut qu'on s'en aille vivre au pays de Bob Marley. Vivre une vie de star un peu comme Bob Marley.
Bonjour si t'es nouvelle et rebonjour si t'es inabonné. Thank you for coming back to my videos to always watch them. I really appreciate you. And by the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you are not already. Today we are going to talk about being married young, and because I get a lot of requests on Instagram to talk about marriage. I don't really know how to start because it's like a kind of weird subject, because like me, when people ask me like, oh, what changed and stuff, I'm like, well, nothing much changed on like a religious perspective. When I look at it, like now it's halal, it's whatever we do is permissible. Like this is the only thing that changed. But like the way we look at each other, the way we treat each other haven't really changed much. So that's the only thing that I would say have changed. Young, me, the way I see it, I know that it's not the same for everyone, but the way I see it is depending on your situation. If you are able to do it, just do it. Why not? Because you are dating the person and you are planning on getting, most people are planning on getting married one day. So if you can do it now, why not? That's how I see it. I get to live with my husband. We get to do things that we were not supposed to or not allowed to do before. So I'm like, why not? Like now we don't have any restrictions on us. Like we can do whatever we want in our little apartment, our little house niche or whatever. I really like my apartment. Like this is our little like cocoon. So I'm like, yeah, why not? Why not do it now? Like even though you're young. Well, if you don't have the maturity level for it, I wouldn't advise you to do it, which is gonna be another video. But if you don't have the maturity level to do so, I don't think you're going to make it, because you are not ready. We'll just like touch on like every little subject. Always like advice and whatever. So the first thing that I would like to say, that it takes two to tango. That like you can't be on a marriage and feel like you're working by yourself, and like you have to work every day at it. It's not like today I get a day off, tomorrow I'm gonna start again, I need the sick leave, I need a vacation leave. You have to work at it every day. That's how I see it. Some things will definitely change, because like you can't go and kick it with your boys every night like you used to do when you were not married. Same thing with the girl. Like I can't go and like be at the club every night or every Saturday. Those kind of things will change. The way you cater to the person and the way you show them love, I wouldn't say it would change, but would probably grow a lot more. I would say that you need God or Jesus or Allah or whoever you pray to. You will need them in this, because in my perspective, I don't have anything against like atheists or whatever, but in my perspective, I believe that if you do not put religion and God in whatever you do, I don't think it's gonna work. But it's just me, it's just my perspective. I put God in whatever I do, and I ask God that whatever is best for me, I ask that's what is going to happen. Like psychologically and physically, there's some things that are going to change, especially if you have not moved in with the person, which is not what you're supposed to do if you are a really religious person anyways. But if you have not moved in with the person and now you guys move in together and you live together, you are going to learn how to live together. For example, leaving the toilet seat up. For example, sharing your bed, sharing your living space, sharing the closet space. Those things are might not be hard at first, because you have to learn the other person habit. You have to learn the other way, how the other person live. So if, for example, like going on vacation or like leaving in like coming to sleep over is not the same thing as like leaving with the person. So the person can be really clean when you come spend the day, and they turn out to be really dirty after you move in. So you will have to adjust to those things, and it will be pretty hard if you are the really neat one and the other person is dirty. The person is messy. The person doesn't take care of anything. But that's like really extreme. Like I would say like me and my husband are really clean people. I might turn to the OCD side, but he's a really clean person. So we don't really have problems when it comes to like cleanliness and like all those things. But just those little things that like you might have an argument because the person doesn't fix their bed, or the person doesn't wash the dishes after they are done. So these are like little things that you might have to adjust to. I would talk about the fights. If you have fights, don't talk about it. Not fights, but like argument. If you have arguments, don't talk about it to your family members, or don't spread your dirty laundry on social media, okay? Alright, so I would say that if you have fights, or I'm not saying fights, if you have arguments, you don't need to call your mom, hey mama, okay, he did this, he told me this, he did that, he did this and that. Like, you have to learn how to solve your argument with each other without having anybody else involved, unless it turns into a toxic relationship or it turns into abuse. I do not condone toxic or abusive relationships. I don't think it's gonna solve anything, and I believe that everyone is going to be in your business after that. I think that you having your privacy and having your secrets between each other is what is going to make your marriage strong, because I don't believe anybody needs to know what's going on between you two. I believe that without communication, you can't have anything, but also without listening, you can't have anything. Because you can be communicating right with the person, but if the person on the other side is not listening to whatever you have to say, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. There should have communication, and they should also have listening. So talk to each other if you have a problem. And I know that men and women react, listen, and talk differently, but just learn how to talk to the other person, learn how the other person hear things. I know that it's really hard because you don't you will never really know the person. So also respect. There needs to be a lot of respect in a relationship. I can't call you the B word or the C word every other day and expect for you to be okay with that. And vice versa. Like, it can't be any of the ways. Like a husband can't be calling his wife names, and a wife can't be calling her husband names, because what is this relationship for? You can't. There needs to be respect, and there needs to be even if it's a couple, there needs to be boundaries of things that you shouldn't say to each other. So without respect, you won't be going anywhere. I would say happiness too. Happiness is a little bit obvious, but some people in a lot of relationships that I've seen, women are not happy, and people tend to put that in the back burner and say that they should just do whatever they have to do and just take care of business. But I believe that everybody should be, it's not every day. You are not going to be happy every day. There is going to be a problem one day. But I believe that everyone should be happy. Everyone should feel love in their. I probably have like one other advice left, which is don't go to bed angry, because you never know. You can have like a really bad argument and go to bed angry. You don't know if your significant other will be here tomorrow when you wake up. So try to talk it out. At least, I don't know, like even if it's not settled, try to talk about it until everyone calms down, because you don't know. You never know. I'm the type of person, like when you do something to me, when I'm thinking about it, I'm getting more and more angry. So I'd rather just talk about something and be done with it, instead of being here thinking about it during the night, sleeping on it, be here, because tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. So I would not go to sleep angry with my partner. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to get in the habit of doing that. Which is babies. I've gotten like questions like when is it? When are you gonna have a baby? And I don't want to offend anyone, but I believe it's not my case, and I believe that God will give you a baby whenever He feels like it. Whether I'm on birth control or not, because people who are on birth control sometimes get pregnant because it's the will of God. But I believe that some people are getting through miscarriages. Some people are sterile and they can't have babies, and they don't want to. Some people don't want to shout it out like at the top of the rooftop, like I can't have babies. So I believe that that question is really, when you're doing that, you are not being sensitive, and that question can be really hard on some people. So it's not like to call out on anyone, but when you ask that question to someone who can't have babies, or who's having a hard time having a baby, I think that it's a really harsh question to ask. And I feel like people should try not to ask that question, because it's none of anybody's business anyways. So yeah, that's my point of view on that. I feel like people should be more sensitive about the questions that they ask. I would say just enjoy your partner, enjoy your husband, or enjoy your wife after you guys get married, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Just learn how to talk to each other, learn how to communicate right, and learn how to respect each other, because that's all you have. If there's no respect and communication in a relationship, I'm not saying it's not gonna work, but it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna have to put a lot of work into it. So yeah, I hope that you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And until then, à la prochaine. Au revoir.